What up, Chiefs Kingdom? Harrison Graham here, back with another live edition of the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I don't know if Chris Olatakana is, because the Chiefs were in business to close that game out, and the four-string quarterback with a minute left got picked off on a tight end screen, which led to the Saints game-winning field goal. But that's neither here nor there, as the great ones like to say. Shout out your city and let us know where you guys are watching from. That way we can get you guys some shout outs. Yes, Bus Boy, I remember you. You were in our watch party. How could we forget? Tony Fuentes hanging out. What's up, Tony? What's up, Tony? The Gamer OG in the chat saying, let's go Chiefs. Where are you guys watching from, huh? Tony in Dallas. We got Paul in Columbus. Robin in Cali Reppin, Chiefs Kingdom. What's up, Robin? Ross looked great in the preseason. Yeah, he looked good, man. We're going to talk about Justyn Ross, these wide receivers today. What's up from Guam? What's up, Joshua? Appreciate you tuning in from Guam. Young Craze in Denver, Colorado. We got The Gamer, Festus. Top Star 2, Columbus. We got Richard and Wakini. Vilnius, Lithuania. A couple of international folks tuning in. Tonganoxie, Kansas is where Paul Amos is watching. We're in our Dallas, Texas Chat Sports studios. Continue to shout out your city and represent yourself in the live chat. This is the live poll on today's Chiefs Report. Go vote there and also weigh in the chat. Will Justyn Ross make the 53-man roster? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. I think you got to put him on the 53 at this point. I see that most of you guys agree with me. 93% saying yes. 94% now. A lot of yeses flying in from the Gamer, David, Ramen Noodle. Nice. Rolly, were you a ramen noodle guy in college?
No.
I wasn't either.
I actually liked them, but I sneaky knew that it was so bad for you that I don't think the cheap prices were worth it, so I stayed away as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm never a big ramen person, but that's the classic college meal, because what are they, like 10 cents a box or something?
It's like you can get 5 for $5 or something like that, and it's just like you can just live on that forever if you wanted to.
Yeah. Top Star 2 says yes. Young Craze, if we keep 7, will Remigio make it? I have Ross as a lock. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of chatter now. Do you keep 7 receivers with Nikko Remigio's emergence? I mean, I'm not sure what the Chiefs are going to do. They got some tough decisions to make. Cornell Powell looked good too. Yeah, I know. He looked good for the first time really ever in a Chiefs uniform. I thought he played well. Will Rashee Rice make it? Yes. He went in the second round of the draft. He's not getting cut. So, and he played pretty well too. Had one drop, but 3 catches for 30 yards. I thought he was pretty solid there. How about this one? Should the Chiefs sign a defensive lineman? I personally thought that Kansas City's D-line got pushed around without Chris Jones yesterday. I think the starters played 2 drives on defense, so I think they should look into beefing up that defensive line. Type S for sign or P for pass. I think you got to bolster that position. We're going to take a look at some players a little bit later in the show that are available to sign still, and I think if you're KC, you really got to look into that, because it was not a position of strength in yesterday's game. Ramen says sign, so does Sean, Paul, the Gamer, David, Richard, Paul Amos. Danny Shelton was impressive. I agree with that. I thought he played pretty well. I think he's probably going to make this team. Zen Charlie, Terrence, Tony Fuentes, all saying sign. He's really the only one that popped to me, though. Top Star 2, Eloy, say sign. I think y'all saw the same thing I did, and we're going to catch you guys up on Chris Jones, too. Like, as long as this Chris Jones thing lingers, you're not in a great position with that front 4. Cole Keller saying Chris Jones needs to be sign his extension before the Cardinals game. I'd be surprised if he signed in the next 5 days. That's when the Chiefs play again on Saturday. So the way it seems, it's not trending. David says Sue. We might be talking about Ndamukong Suh. Stay tuned. Stay tuned as we get to that point in the show. John Satterfield says sign. Tony Walzer says sign as well. So lots of stuff to dive into. We got to see the rookies play for the first time. Who is your favorite Chiefs rookie right now? It can obviously change as time goes on, but if you had to pick one, who would you pick? I would go with Rashee Rice right now. Who is your favorite Chiefs rookie on this roster? Thought Rice looked pretty good.
Harrison, how has Felix looked?
He had one pressure yesterday.
Okay.
So, okay. I think it's going to take him a little time. Like, I think he'll be in the rotation, but I don't really expect him to start at any point this year. Maybe midway. Well, I say that. With Charles Omenihu being suspended, he'll probably get some earlier PT and heavier rotation snaps than you would have thought. But I think he's coming along. I mean, he missed pretty much all of OTAs and minicamp because he had a thumb surgery. So he's kind of been ramping up in training camp. But I think he'll be in the rotation. Justyn Ross, technically not a rookie, but I understand where you guys are coming from. Rashee Rice looked fantastic. Yeah, he dropped the one ball, but other than that, I thought he looked good. Hailassie, hope he makes it. Yeah, the UDFA corner, he's made some plays. Rashee Rice from Top Star. Paul says Rice as well. Remigio as a UDFA. I'll tell you what, they got a couple UDFAs making some plays. They really do on both sides of the ball, so that's exciting. Wanya Morris, I thought he looked pretty good yesterday. I think he could be the swing tackle for this team as a rookie, which, you know, you draft a tackle in the third round. I think that's a good role for him if he can be that guy. They obviously have Lucas Niang and Prince Tega Wanagou too, but I think Wanya Morris performed well. Hopefully he does the next 2 games as well. I know second year, but first on field. Yeah, if you're talking Justyn Ross, yeah, I understand that sentiment.
Harrison, question for myself.
Okay.
Do they have Jawan Taylor at right tackle, or do they have him at left tackle?
He's at right. Donovan Smith is at left, who had a terrible year with the Bucs last year, but he's playing through a foot injury. He actually played pretty well while he was out there. I thought he looked good, pancaked somebody in the run game. So far so good there. But unless Donovan Smith completely falls apart, he's going to be the left tackle, and they're going to keep Taylor at right tackle, which is where he's played his entire career.
It just surprised me because they paid him left tackle money.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. I feel like something happened. Like, we've kind of explored this, because there was a report after they signed Jawan Taylor that they intend to play him at left tackle and that they think Lucas Niang can go back to being their starting right tackle. And then I wonder if something happened with their view on Niang or someone, or maybe Taylor, I don't know, and they were just like, we're going to put him back at right and sign a left tackle. Something shifted at some point. I'm not sure what it is, but it'll be interesting. I mean, I wonder if, because Smith signed a 1-year deal, I wonder if Taylor moves the left next year and they get a right, and maybe Wanya Morris is your right tackle next year. Like year 2, he's ready to go. So it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. All right, guys, we have a big announcement here on the Chiefs Report. And yes, what it says on screen is true. I'm stepping away from this channel here at Chat Sports. I'm not leaving the company. I have an opportunity to advance my career, do some different things on the managerial side. I'm still going to be on air. I know a lot of you guys know that I cover the Bears for us still. That's not changing. Could be doing some other things on some smaller channels. But I think the Chiefs Report needs a fresh face, needs some new energy. We will announce later in the week who's going to take over. But I just want to thank all of you guys. We launched this channel really full-time early 2020, had a couple videos late in 2019, but this was a team I wanted to cover. I went to my bosses. I said, I think there's a lot of potential, and they took a chance on me, and we grew this channel from 0 to, looking at it now, 43,239 subscribers. So I'm excited. I love what I've done here and what you guys have helped me do, and none of this is possible without all of you. So stay excited. Nothing's changing on the channel in terms of the content we're providing, daily videos. It's just not going to be me anymore. And I'm going to help the new person transition in. We might even have a couple videos where it's both of us on screen. Can't quite announce who that is yet, but stay tuned. That will be announced later in the week. And I appreciate everybody in the chat. David, Raman, Corey, the gamer saying, please don't leave. Let me just say this, too. This has not been a easy, simple process. It's been a drawn-out thing that we've discussed as a company between myself and the bosses, and we just think this is going to be good for everyone. I think it's going to be good for you guys. I think getting a fresh face in here with new energy is going to be exciting. So stay tuned for that. Just wanted to give you guys full, transparency here. And let me say this: I actually don't know when my final video will be yet. I'm not sure exactly yet what preseason week 2 watch party is going to look like. So stay tuned for that. yeah, more information to come. And at HGram NFL on Twitter, you guys can still interact with me over there. If I'm always still down to talk Chiefs, and maybe I'll hop on every once in a while and give my 2 cents on everything. It's a very exciting team. It's not easy to walk away from a channel for a team this good, believe me. So appreciate the support. Tony, I know, man, it's been a fun run. You've been my biggest supporter, I would say, on this channel. So appreciate that. Cole says good luck. I do know who's taking my place, David. I cannot tell you who that is yet. As soon as I can, I will, though. That will be announced. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be on videos this week. I don't know if this is my last live show. It might be. So if you guys want to have some fun, we can do that. But that's where we're at. Appreciate the continued support. And please stay subscribed if you are, because nothing's changing, like I said. In fact, you might get more content now. So stay tuned for all of that. But lots of good things ahead here on the Chiefs Report, and obviously for this football team, as you guys know. All right, if you're ready for today's live show to start, like this video, hit that thumbs up icon if you guys are fired up. I'm excited. Like I said, could be my last live show, so I'm going to give you guys everything I got today. So hit that like button if you're fired up to jump into today's Chiefs Report. Here's what's coming up on the Chiefs Report live today. The latest Chiefs rumors, some more takeaways following the loss to the Saints in preseason week 1. We will take your questions, hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat, to get your questions on the show. If you have questions about the preseason, about the roster bubble stuff, 53-man, all that, free agency players they should sign, trades. We're open for business here, whatever you guys feel like talking about. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Stock up, stock down at this point in training camp after preseason week 1. We'll take a look at some players who are trending in the right direction and maybe some that are not trending in the right direction. All right, guys, busy show ahead here on the Chiefs Report. Stay tuned. Today's Chiefs Report is presented by RexMD. If you're struggling in the bedroom, if you need a jump start in your sex life, go to RexMD, rexmd.com/chat, the #1 leader in men's telehealth. They're going to get you on the right track without even having to leave your house. Go check them out. Link is in the comments and in the description. Coming up in a little bit here on the Chiefs Report, we've got a big announcement for you guys. If you're watching live, you already know what that announcement is. But if not, stay tuned. Big announcement for this channel. All right, let's get to the latest on Chris Jones, as there's not really a tangible update in terms of if he could report, if they're going to give him a contract. But Chris Jones has become the cryptic tweet guy as of late. And the latest one here on Monday is, "Ain't nobody safe." And, what does that mean? Is he saying, hey, even an all-pro player like myself isn't good enough to get an extension? That's kind of what I'm connecting there, but who knows, right? You never know exactly what these athletes are doing or what they're saying. Here's what I will say. The longer time has gone on, my confidence meter is slipping. Like, I am so less confident than I was 2 weeks ago, a month ago, certainly 2 months ago. Like, I was so confident they would get an extension done before training camp. It wasn't even on my mind. I did not view this as a Orlando Brown situation where it's like, well, he's been good, but he hasn't been great. Like, this is arguably the best defensive tackle in football. I did not think this would be an issue at this point in time, but here we are. No deal has happened, and he has been tweeting very consistently his displeasure. And here's another thing I found interesting. He changed his profile picture, but what really caught my eye was his Twitter header photo, Frank Clark, who he voiced very clearly that he wanted the Chiefs to make something work with Frank Clark. Obviously, they cut him, but he was a free agent for a while. There was some thought maybe they bring him back. That was kind of his partner in crime. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blame the Chiefs for not bringing back Frank Clark because Chris Jones wanted him back. I had no problem with them cutting him. I was open to bringing him back for cheap, but obviously that did not happen. But I think you got to think that's him sending another message, though, right? Like, why would he put Frank Clark in his Twitter bio header for no reason? Like, that seems notable to me. Look, at the end of the day, this is a superstar talent. You are a team in a Super Bowl window. I'm not saying you just bend over to his demands, but you got to get this guy secure, man. You just do. Now, apparently Chris Jones wants to be the highest paid defensive tackle. I can understand if the Chiefs don't want to top Aaron Donald's contract. I do. But you should have no reservations on making him the second highest paid defensive tackle in the league. because he was the best in the league last year. Again, I'm not saying pay him 32, 33, but 28 per year, 29, give him $80 million guaranteed on a 4-year extension. I don't think that's out of the realm of just reasonable expectation there. And look, maybe he's asking for a 4-year, $125 million fully guaranteed deal. I don't know. It's very possible. But I just think Chris Jones has the leverage. Like, you look at the defensive line without him, which we're going to further discuss in a moment. It's not pretty. It didn't look good against the Saints when the starters were out there. So he's got leverage. The Chiefs have the leverage in the sense that he is under contract this year, and they can call his bluff and see if he'll show up week 1. But do you really want to play that game when you're trying to win a Super Bowl? I'm not sure I do if I'm Kansas City. How concerned are you with this Chris Jones situation? Scale it from 1 to 10, 1 being you're not concerned at all, 10 being you're kind of freaking out at this point. I'm at like a 7.7. I mean, that number's growing for me. I'm definitely concerned, so I definitely have reservations. All right, big announcement here on the Chiefs Report. I'm stepping away as the host of this channel. I've got a great career opportunity here at Chat Sports. Do want to make that clear, staying with the company to kind of expand what I do here, do some managerial responsibilities, and I'm going to attack that full steam ahead. I know a lot of you guys know that I cover the Bears. I'm still going to be on that channel, but I am stepping away, and you guys should not be – I understand if you're disappointed that I'm leaving because we've built a great bond, but be excited. The new guy is going to be awesome. We're going to announce who the new host is in the coming days. Can't quite do that just yet, but nothing's changing. Content's still going to be every single day. We're still going to bring you videos, watch parties. In fact, it'll be weekly watch parties this year. Last year, we couldn't do them every week. So that's awesome for you guys. Full announcement for further details to come, but did want to give you guys as much of an explanation as I can at this point in time. All right, today's show is sponsored by RexMD. Go to rexmd.com/chat to get started today because, fellas, do you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom? Do you wish you could have a more fulfilling sex life? Well, you are not alone. That's why we're excited to tell you about RexMD, the online source for men's wellness. RexMD offers an easy and discreet way to get the medication you need for ED without having to visit a doctor's office. With just a few clicks, you can have your medication delivered straight to your door and at a fraction of the cost of traditional pharmacies. RexMD's team of licensed physicians will work with you to find the right treatment plan. And their medication is made in the USA, so you can trust its quality. Plus, their customer support team is available 24/7 to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. So if you're ready to take control of your sex life and say goodbye to ED, head on over to rexmd.com/chat and start your consultation today. Take advantage of the best deal they've ever offered, which is up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage. Again, that's rexmd.com/chat, rexmd.com/chat. Go ahead and get started today. That link is in the comments and in the description. Okay, next up here on the Chiefs Report, should Kansas City sign a defensive lineman? I think the answer to this question is yes, because I'll be honest, I thought the Chiefs starting defense and frankly the starters as a whole got worked by New Orleans. It's only preseason. I'm not going to freak out, but the front four did not have any impact on that first drive for Derek Carr, and frankly, Jameis Winston's first drive either, both of which were touchdowns. Here's what Andy Reid had to say. He was pretty disappointed in the Chiefs starters, and this is offense and defense. He said some of the guys were a little flat in the beginning. You can't do that. When you come to work, you need to come to work ready to go. And yeah, I mean, sure, we can sit here and say, yeah, it's preseason, it's not a big deal, but you still got to go out there and play hard and play energetic. I'm not saying they didn't try, but it seemed that New Orleans brought more energy and wanted to play better more than the Chiefs did, and that obviously showed on the field. But regardless of effort, with Chris Jones not out there, like, you've got problems. Like, this defensive line is meh without him. Derek Nottie, Michael Dana, Charles Omenihu, George Karlaftis. I like Karlaftis. I think he's going to be a good player, but you don't have anybody that you would even vote for a Pro Bowl heading into this season outside of Chris Jones, who's an All-Pro. So, again, that's why he's got the leverage, and quite frankly, it's why I think you need to go out and get somebody. You need to go sign, even if it's just a depth piece, just to give you another option on that defensive line, whether it's at defensive tackle or defensive end. I think you need to go that route if you are Brett Veach. What do you think? Should the Chiefs sign a defensive lineman? Type S for sign or P for pass. I think it's pretty close to a must at this point. If there's a need on this roster, it's in the trenches on that defensive side. Now, you look at some of the defensive linemen available. in free agency still. 5 edges, 5 defensive tackles. You got Jadeveon Clowney, who's still out there. He's taking visits with Baltimore and Jacksonville. Still remains unsigned, though. Carlos Dunlap, you could bring him back. Kyle Van Noy is still available. Melvin Ingram, who was here a couple of years ago in the second half of the season after the trade deadline, he's out there. Robert Quinn. If you want to go interior, Chris Wormley, Akeem Hicks, and Ndamukong Suh. Producer Roley said before the show, he was like, Ndamukong Suh is such a chief. And look, if you get Chris Jones back and put Suh next to him, Suh played well for the Eagles last year. That could actually be pretty nasty. Matt Ioannidis and Linval Joseph sitting out there as well. I would add 1 or 2 of these guys. I really would. I think that you gotta beef up that position group overall. You're not going to find a Chris Jones replacement, but if he's going to threaten a holdout and a deal doesn't get done, you got to get someone better in there than what you currently got. So I would certainly do just that. Now, subscribe to the channel because regardless of who's the host of the show, we're still going to have daily coverage here on the Chiefs Report. We're trying to get to 44,000. Round of applause. Thank you to 43,000 during our watch party. We crossed that milestone, trying to get to 44 next. So if you want daily videos, if you want to stay informed with the Kansas City Chiefs, don't go anywhere. We're going to have you covered here at Chat Sports every single day, weekly watch parties. It's going to be an absolute blast. Okay, is the wide receiver competition heating up? And I would say wide receiver 3 and beyond, but really the whole position group, if we're being completely honest. Several receivers stood out in that Chiefs loss to the Saints, and some who aren't even viewed as players who might make the team, and you wonder if they should be in the mix. Like Nikko Remigio, who's had a great training camp. He looked awesome. 4 catches, 71 yards. Richie James looked good. He had a 43-yard catch, 1-yard touchdown as well. Rashee Rice did have a drop, but 30 yards on 3 catches. Justyn Ross, he looks the part, man. Ran a nice little in-breaking route to beat his man for a touchdown from Shane Buechele. 2 catches, 29 yards as a whole, but you look at how crowded this room is. I mean, you're not cutting Tony, MVS, or Sky Moore, or Rashee Rice. Like, those 4 are making the team. Now, maybe Tony starts on PUP or something like that, but it sounds like he's trending toward being ready for week 1. So let's just say you keep 6. You've got Richie James, Justin Watson, Nikko Remigio, and Justyn Ross competing for 2 spots. Do you keep 7 now? Kansas City has some tough calls to make. I mean, just look at this depth chart one more time here. I mean, even Amir Smith-Marset, Cornell Powell had a good game. Like, Crawford had a touchdown. He wasn't even on my radar. He looked pretty good. Like, you got like 9 dudes, and you can't keep 9 guys. I mean, the most you could do is 7, and even that's stretching it. So, Brett Veach, Andy Reid, they're going to have to make some tough calls. Like, I do wonder, like, do you trade one of these guys for, like, a pick? I don't know. Like, it's going to be very, very interesting because I think a couple of these guys that could get cut, I know we always freak out, oh, if you cut them, they're going to get claimed. Usually they don't. You give them to the practice squad. I think Remigio might actually get claimed. I think Justin Watson would probably get claimed if he got cut. So you got to figure out who you want to keep and who you want to cut. So it's going to be very, very tricky over the next couple of weeks to see how this plays out. Now, with Justyn Ross in particular, do you think he makes the 53? I do think he makes it. He's 6'4", 210, and he looks healthy. Y for yes, N for no. I'm going to go yes, but you make the call for us. Let us know down in the comments section. I'm DeBrown says you said Justin Reid was looking good in practice, looked trash. Yeah, he didn't play good yesterday. Trent McDuffie's had a great camp. He didn't play good yesterday. I don't know what to tell you. Like, sometimes people have bad games. Yeah, he needs to play better. I thought he was up and down in his first year with the Chiefs last year. Needs to be better, period. I'm with you. He did not play good yesterday. The starters on both sides were not very good. So, you know, we'll see if Andy Reid plays them a little longer next week to get something out of those guys. Justyn Ross, yes or no? Will he make the 53? David says yes. Chris says yes. We got Richard saying yes. David, Paul, no question. Kind of with you. Like, I think he's, out of the guys on the bubble, I think he's definitely the safest. Like, he would have to shit the bed the next 2 games, I would say, to miss the 53 or get injured again, which, you know, knock on wood, that doesn't happen because he's been fantastic. He's been really, really good. Let's see. David says yes. Tony, yes. Lonnie says yes. Paul, Richard, Chris, all saying yes. Remigio balled out, but he's on the outside looking. Yeah, he would like – I'll say this. Remigio, the cliche phrase, he's making it tough on the staff, right? Like we hear that every year. I would say as of now he would still get cut, but what if he does it 2 more games? Like what if he goes out there and catches 10 balls for 130 yards combined the next 2 weeks? I mean, tough decision. You almost don't want him to do that so you can get him to the practice squad, for being completely honest. All right, mailbag time. We're going to answer some questions. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. I see a couple of you guys still talking about still. Yes, we are. I am stepping away from the Chiefs report. Not sure exactly when my live show will be, but I'm taking on some managerial duties here at Chat Sports. Get to advance my career. So it's a good opportunity for me, and I think a good opportunity for you guys as the audience to see a fresh face, get some fresh energy on this channel. I've had a lot on my plate recently here, so I think getting someone who can zero in their focus on this channel even more so, which I hope I've provided good content for you guys, but I think it'll be good for you guys. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions in. Producer Rolly's saying we need a lot more questions for this mailbag. So if you have questions about free agency, about the preseason, about the upcoming season, load them up. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get those questions on the show. And we're a little light, Rolly. We could do segment 3 first if we need to. Just let me know what it's looking like. Michael said the Italian lad should end up on IR, that Nikko feller. Oh, man. I'm going to flash this real quick. Welky. Flash it real quick. Appreciate the $2 Super Chat, Welky. I will still be on that channel, yes. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm choosing one or the other, because it just didn't go down that way. Like, I can't reveal how these conversations went, but it's more of we just want this channel to get even more content out for you guys, and for me, it's an opportunity in my career to advance, if you will. You guys all have aspirations, right? Like, if you get a promotion at your job and have a chance to do something else that helps you and your family, you're going to take that. So that's where it's at, and I understand some people might be upset, but I think you guys should be excited. Like, the new guy is going to bring a lot of energy. We'll announce that as soon as possible, so stay subscribed, stay tuned. We'll get that announcement to you guys, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Hashtag Chiefs Super Chat to get your questions in. We can go ahead and roll. Hopefully a few more come in then. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions in. And we'll get those questions here. William just sending one in. That is a good with this new QB rule, he has to be on the roster, right? The 53, the third quarterback. I feel like that was not explained well by the league.
No, actually, now I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure, because I think the point is the rule that like an emergency, you don't have to have him on the active roster, but he can be ready to play.
So he could be a practice squad player.
I think so.
But then there's that rule where you can only elevate practice squad players to game day so many times. So are quarterbacks just immune to that?
I can try to look at
the way I took it was you can have a third quarterback dressed, but he doesn't count against your game day roster. Like, you know how you have to have inactives? That's how I took it.
Hold on here.
So let us look into that momentarily.
Oh, never mind. It requires teams to keep a third quarterback on the 53-man.
Yeah, which is why I think Buechele will still make the team even if Gabbert beats him out.
Oh, but okay, so that's what it is. It requires a quarterback or the third quarterback to be on the 53-man roster, because obviously you're only allowed to have 48 people active.
So he can be like the 49th.
Correct. That's what it is.
That's what I thought it was.
He needs to be.
Now, I still think you can elevate a practice squad quarterback, but you can only do that like 2 or 3 weeks per player. So, like, you're going to see teams carry 3 on the 53, I think.
Yeah, so the way this explains it is like only 48 people are allowed to dress, but if you have a third quarterback on the 53-man, you have that extra third QB that isn't on the 48-man, but is eligible to play if required.
And the rule, too, is like the first 2 guys have to be clearly injured and out. Like, let's say your starter, if Mahomes gets hurt, right? If Gabbert is just sucking, you can't go to Buechele. Like, he has to be hurt. Now, I do wonder, like, our team's going to be like, oh, you twisted your ankle because we want to try the third quarterback. Who knows? But I'm guessing they'll have, like, a third-party medical evaluator on site that in that rare situation like we saw in the NFC title game last year, it'll be, you'll have a third guy available. All right, so we're going to get into this mailbag now. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Then we got another segment to go after that. So lots to come here on the Chiefs Report. What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? From Chiefs Kingdom, he asks this question. If Chris Jones demands a trade, how much could the Chiefs get in return? It's a great question because he was arguably the best defensive lineman in football last year. For me, he was, especially interior guys. But he is 29. He is demanding a monster contract. So I think there are some questions to what it would look like in a trade in that scenario where Kansas City opts to move on, which, again, hopefully that doesn't happen. But you're talking about a very unique player. I mean, 15 and a half sacks last year. He's done that twice in his career, by the way. Had 15 and a half a few years ago. 44 tackles. He's improved as a run defender the last couple of years, in my opinion. 29 QB hits. I mean, he is just a menace. And to me, if you can get that elite pass rusher from the interior, that's hard to find. And that's exactly what Chris Jones provides to this defensive line that not many other players in this league can. Like, you take him off this D-line, you have problems, especially at defensive tackle, which is why I've discussed before that he has a lot of leverage. Now, in that scenario where he demands a trade, and if you even consider it, if you're Brett Veach, my initial asking price is 2 first-round picks. Like, oh boy, that's going to be clipped later. 2 first-round picks, right? Maybe you settle for a first and a third, first and a second, or something like that. But you got to ask for a big haul if you're Kansas City, because Brett Veach has gone public and said we're not trading him. So if you were even to consider it, you would have to get 2 firsts. Or at least a first and a second, in my opinion. Now, what do you guys think? Will Chris Jones get traded? Type T for trade or W for won't. Even though my confidence meter is slipping, I don't think he'll get traded because he is under contract. Like, maybe we get a disgruntled Chris Jones this year, then he walks next season. But I still think he'll be here, but I don't love the way this is trending. All right, I'm DeBrown with the Super Chat. You said Justin Reed was looking good in practice, looked like trash yesterday. We're filming this live on Monday, so he's talking about the Saints game on Sunday. Yeah, he didn't play good in the game. The reports out of practice had overall been positive, but I didn't think he played good. You know who else has had a great camp, didn't play well on Sunday? Trent McDuffie. He got burned by rookie A.T. Perry for a touchdown. So, yeah, not great. It's one preseason game and a couple of drives. But yeah, that's absolutely true. Cole Keller, I will say, despite it being only a small sample size, Richie James improved his stock after yesterday's game. Agree or disagree? Oh, he absolutely improved his stock. If you're watching live, we're going to do a stock up, stock down video. If you're watching later in the week, that video's already been published. But I thought he looked really good. Like, I think he's pretty safe to make this team. Like, he's got special teams value. He can win in the slot. He completely burned a nickel back for what should have been a touchdown. Blaine Gabbert underthrew it a bit, so he had to slow up, but he still caught it, 43-yard completion. Then he actually got open again for a touchdown, and Gabbert overthrew him before connecting on him a couple plays later for a 1-yard score. But, yeah, he looked the part. I think he's in a pretty good spot to make this football team, but that wide receiver room's getting crowded. William Wright, how does the quarterback 54th position work? So we double-checked, we clarified this. The way it works, and if you don't know what he's referring to, is the NFL instituted a new rule where you can dress 3 quarterbacks so we can avoid the NFC Championship last year where the Niners literally didn't have a quarterback for basically the whole second half. The way it works is he still has to be on your 53-man roster, but on game days you have to trim down to 48 with 5 inactives, but he does not have to count against those 48. He could be the 49th guy basically on game day. So the Chiefs, for example, will keep 3 quarterbacks, Mahomes, Gabbert, and Buechele, and whoever they're not dressing on the 48, the third guy will still be dressed, and if, God forbid, the top 2 quarterbacks get hurt, the third guy would be eligible to then check into the game. Chase Haddock, will Nikko Remigio make the 53-man roster? I still think he's on the outside looking in, but he's doing a damn good job to make this front office think about it and this coaching staff think about it. I mean, he was probably, wide receiver 10 or 11 entering OTAs, and the undrafted free agent has climbed and climbed and climbed. Right now, I would probably put him at wide receiver 8. Behind the top 4, Richie James, Justin Watson, Justyn Ross, no order there necessarily. I would put Remigio at number 8. That's not going to get you on the team, but if he goes out there and has 2 really good games the rest of the preseason, I mean, that makes you think about it at this point. Like, could he be more dynamic than Justin Watson? I think it's something you have to consider. So let's see how the next couple of weeks play out. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 44,000 subscribers. Appreciate everybody who helped us get to 43,000 during our preseason week 1 watch party. We're going to continue to plug out videos on the daily here. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Do not miss out. We're going to have a lot of fun here on this channel throughout the season at Chat Sports. Morgan Van Schoiver, y'all think Bell needs to be cut? I do. That 4th and 1 QB sneak just ain't cutting it anymore, and he's older and injury prone. Talking about Blake Bell, the tight end. I don't know if that play alone is a reason to cut or keep somebody because it's such a rare situation. For those who didn't watch the game, they tried to send Belldozer in motion, QB sneak to get the first down, and it got stuffed. He completely misread the defensive line, by the way. If he goes left, it's a first down. But what I found interesting is he was listed as tight end 3 ahead of Jody Fortson, who's tight end 4. Now, they might have listed it that way because Fortson's hurt right now, but there's no way I'm keeping Bell over Fortson if both are healthy. So I think if he makes the team, they have to carry at least 4 tight ends, which they've done in recent years. Matt Bushman, I thought, had a chance to push Bell in the preseason, and Campy's done that, but in the first preseason game, Bushman did not play that well. From Tay, what position will the Chiefs draft in 2024 in the first round? I just don't see the Chiefs taking a wide receiver. What do you think? I mean, it depends how the receivers play this year, right? If it's clear they still need that number 1 guy, I could see them trying to address that in the draft. But it's hard to say without even getting a couple regular season games under our belt, right? I could see one of the offensive tackle spots with Donovan Smith on a 1-year deal. Do you move Juwan Taylor to left tackle next year, draft a right tackle? Does Wanya Morris take that spot? We'll see. I think there's a lot of areas to go. I think defensive line is definitely going to be an area of focus, in my opinion, especially defensive tackle. Shad Jameson, do you think Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a role on Kansas City since he took first-team reps against the Saints? I think he started against the Saints, 1, because Jarrett McKinnon's more of a change-of-pace third-down back. 2, Isaiah Pacheco isn't quite ready yet from injury, so that's why. And 3, and perhaps most importantly, at least to me, they pretty clearly tried to show him off in this game. We're hoping he would pop and maybe garner some trade value. I don't know for sure. Maybe they were just giving him an opportunity. He didn't really do much. He had 1 catch for 11 yards. The other one was just a check down for a couple. But it's really the same story. He just doesn't have great burst. Now, I will say that pass to him that went for a 10-plus yard game, I was like, that's what I thought they were going to do with him when they drafted him, and they just haven't nearly done it enough. But he's still just not dynamic enough. Yeah, he might be on this team as the 3rd back or something like that, but he's not a game changer. Cole Keller, trade Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Which running back needy team do you see him getting traded to? A couple teams stand out. I think Minnesota, if they want to add someone to that room, although Ty Chandler looks good in the preseason, they may just roll with him and Madison. Does Dallas want to add another back to their room for cheap? It's interdivision, but do you ship him to Vegas? If Jacobs doesn't report, they could use another back, but look, I mean, he's not going to start anywhere, right? He'd be a part of a rotation. So the options aren't great. We probably still have to wait for that, Colts were the other one I was saying, but it sounds like Jonathan Taylor is going to report now. So, yeah, then Pickens at this point. Do you care about the preseason? You can be honest, Chiefs Kingdom. I think some teams care more than others. Like the Chiefs, defending champs. Let's get to week 1 already. Y for yes, in for no. Regardless of what your answer is, but I would say especially if your answer is no, you should go bet on the games because that makes them a little more entertaining. If you're not betting on preseason football, I don't know what you're doing because you get late into these games and you really don't have a reason to watch. But if you have betting implications, then you have all the reason to watch. Go to chatsports.com/ChiefsBet to create an account today. Use our promo code Chiefs125 to get a 125% deposit bonus. This is a pretty big point spread for a preseason game. Chiefs 6.5-point favorites. Total over under 40 points against the Arizona Cardinals. So I would probably, I don't even know where I'd go here. I think the Chiefs starters will play better, so maybe they cover here. Over under. I'll probably take the under. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Promo code Chiefs125 to create an account with BetUS. William Wright, which wide receivers do you see the Chiefs trying to put on the practice squad? I think they want to get Nikko Remigio there. Who knows? He might get claimed if he keeps balling out. If one of these other dudes gets cut, I think Amir Smith-Marsette's a guy they'd like to keep on the practice squad. Cornell Powell, perhaps. So 2 or 3 guys. If they do decide to cut Justin Watson, then I'm sure they'd like to bring him back on the practice squad. But I think he'd probably get picked up by someone else. We'll see. A lot of decisions they got to figure out there. Chad Jamison without Tony, who is wide receiver 1. The kind of my hot take recently is that I think Sky Moore, even with Tony, will lead the receivers in yards. Kelsey will have more, but I'm talking about purely receivers. But I don't think even with Tony you have a pure wide receiver 1. I think it's going to be a lot of distribution, spreading the ball around, and Patrick Mahomes getting the ball into several guys' hands, because I don't think you'll have that clear number 1 guy this year beyond Travis Kelsey, of course. Appreciate all the questions here on the Chiefs Report. If we didn't get them answered, we apologize. We'll try to get you in the future. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. What was that face, Rolly? Oh, no. His mic is glitching.
The Patriots just signed Zeke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like,
I'm not going to lie. When you made that face, I was like, did someone just super chat?
No. You guys probably didn't know this, but I am a Patriots fan.
Rolly's a Patriots fan.
You can boo me all you want, blah, 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 blah. But I will say, Zeke is cooked, but I was intrigued at the possibility of him being a change of pace back to Ramondre Stevenson when they brought him in for a visit. Mm-hmm. And I am kind of pumped that they signed him.
He's good in short yardage still. Like, he was one of the best in the NFL at converting 3rd and 4th and 1. And he's excellent in blitz pickup. Like, he's still a top 5 pass blocking running back. So, 3rd and longs, have him in there. And what he's good at, too, is he can, protect and then leak out because he catches the ball pretty well. So, he's not a starting running back, but he still has a role.
Yeah, I will be fascinated at what type of 2 running back sets the Patriots would run, because it wouldn't surprise me with Bill O'Brien if they like to do a little 2 running back actions from the gun, have Zeke to the right, Ramondre with the left, because Ramondre's a good pass catcher, so you could use him out of the backfield and then have Zeke be the pass blocker running back type. It's interesting. A lot to play with there.
Yeah, be interesting. I guess Dallas is just rolling with what they got.
That he was going to return to Dallas at some point.
I was too.
But
when he left New England without a deal, I was like, eh.
It says, this is what Rapport says, deal up to $6 million.
Wow.
I'm assuming there's a lot of incentives, though.
Dude, still, though. That's kind of a lot. Now, if he reaches them, that means he probably had a great year. But
you know what's going to be tough, though? A Zeke 15 Patriots jersey. He's wearing 15.
Oh, his Ohio State number.
Dude, he's going to be there for 1 year.
Watch him be re-energized and just ball out.
He's probably not going to do anything crazy, but an Elliott 15 Patriots jersey.
They don't play the Cowboys, do they?
They do.
Oh,
and guess where it is?
Is it in Dallas?
It's in Dallas.
Oh, that's
electric.
Week
4.
Oh, that's right. You were trying to.
I was really hoping to try to go to that, but
that's an electric factory.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Do y'all care about the preseason? Yes. No. Tony says yes. Tay says no. All right. Let's get to our final segment here on the Chiefs Report here for today's live show. Appreciate everybody now. Ooh, someone says CH to Dallas now. Maybe. Be a change of pace back to Pollard, more short yardage. Could be a possibility. All right, coming up on the Chiefs Report, stock up, stock down after the Saints game. Let's get into it here on the channel. Today's Chiefs Report is presented by Manscaped. From head to toe, you're not going to find a better company that provides men's grooming products. The Beard Hedger is something that I'm a big fan of and comes with other products as well. Go check them out. Promo code Manscaped, or promo code Chiefs at manscaped.com. Code Chiefs at manscaped.com. Link and code in the comments and in the description. All right, my name is Harrison Graham. Let's get into a little Chiefs stock up, stock down coming out of the first preseason game. And just at this point in training camp, Chiefs, of course, in bizarre fashion, lost 26-24 to New Orleans in the first week of the preseason. Not a lot of players stood out there. Some certainly struggled. We'll discuss. 2 more preseason games remaining in the coming weeks. These are some key dates to monitor here. The final training camp practice is this Thursday, August 17th. Before the second preseason game. Now, there's obviously going to be practice between the 19th and 26th, but those aren't deemed as training camp practices. You're kind of into in-season practice at that point. And then August 29th is a key date as well. Roster cut-down day, and they're doing it different this year. The last couple of years, you've gone from 90 to 85, 85 to 80, then 80 to 53. This year, all happening on August 29th. Now, some teams might still cut players before then, but you do not have to go from 90 to 85 to 80 or whatever. You can go 90 to 53 all by the 29th if you choose to do so. So keep those dates on your calendar. All right, stock up, stock down. Let's start with stock up here. Justyn Ross. What we've heard and seen in training camp translated to the first preseason game. He had 2 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown. He looks good. He looks quick. The routes are there. 6'4", 205, 210. Seems like a good teammate, too. I listened to his on-field interview after the game. He just wants to contribute. I love that. Put him on the 53. Like, Justyn Ross has done enough to earn a roster spot, in my opinion. I get there's going to be injury concerns, but if you're worried about that as a Chiefs coaching staff or front office, then why bring him in the first place? You're clearly willing to take the risk. He's willing to take the risk by playing football despite his injury history. Let's go. He's making plays. Like, at some point, if you're making plays, you got to be rewarded for it. So I think he's worthy of a roster spot. I think that arrow is pointing up. And look, I get asked all the time, who is the number 1 receiver on this team? I don't think it's Justyn Ross, but he's got as much talent as any other receiver on this roster. Like, he's got that pedigree. Can he get back to that level? We'll see. I think he's certainly pointing in that direction, at least of possibly getting there. If you want Justyn Ross to make the 53-man roster, like the video. If you don't, tell me why. I can't imagine anybody would not want him to make it at this point in time. If you want him on the 53, hit that like button. All right, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, stock down. I thought the Chiefs went out of their way, to be honest, to try and show him off to the rest of the league against the New Orleans Saints, and I don't think mission was accomplished. He had one good play where he caught a pass for like 11, 12 yards. 5 touches, I think he had 4 consecutive on the first drive, 3 carries, 7 yards, 2 catches, 15 yards. Had that one 10-plus catch, but his other 4 touches went for like 10 total yards or something. Nothing really stood out, if I'm being completely honest. And the same issues that I've griped about the last couple of years still persist. The burst isn't there. Like, he doesn't have a lot of speed, so it's just, there's limitations there. Now, could he be on this team and be in a rotation? Yeah, like, I'm not saying that I would just flat out cut him, but in terms of him, like, Buechele's out, I'm going to take advantage and maybe push for a starting role, there's just no chance that's happening. Buechele's going to be ready for week 1, and he's the starter. McKinnon's the 2. CEH is the 3 for now. I know Deneric Prince didn't have an awesome first preseason game, but I would rather keep him around due to his special teams value. Big announcement here on the show. We've been telling you throughout our live show here on Monday and on a couple shows throughout the week here. I'm stepping away from the host here as the host of the Chiefs Report. Now, this channel is not going anywhere. Really excited for the new host who we're going to be able to announce for you guys soon. Can't do that just yet as of this moment, but don't worry. Things are not changing, just a different face. We're going to have similar content, probably some new, fresh ideas as well, and honestly, more videos, I think, for you guys to expect. The new guy's going to be able to plug out even more content for you guys as he gets comfortable. So appreciate all the love and support to go from 0 to almost 44,000 subscribers in the last 3 years. I've had a blast doing this. I just have an opportunity with the company here at Chat Sports to grow my role in the managerial department area of this company. So appreciate the bosses for the opportunity. And shout out to all of you because y'all have been awesome and supporting me and helping this channel grow. Stock up, Chiefs report. Also stock up, Shane Buechele. It was ugly early. What did I say going into the game? Can he play turnover free? Well, he didn't check that box. Second throw of the day, he forced one to Justyn Ross. It got tipped up and intercepted, so I'm sitting there thinking, oh, great. Classic Buechele. He's just got that gunslinger mentality. He can't help himself, which that is still a negative from him in this performance. But I thought overall the game was a positive. To bounce back from that, go 11 of 18, $155, 2 more touchdowns, QB rating of over 100. I thought that was really good. Now, full disclosure, the early interception can't happen, especially when you're trying to push for the QB2 job. Like, he's just got to eliminate that from his game. Now, doesn't mean you're never going to turn the ball over, but he can't get into a game without throwing a pick. It's like, I think now in 7 preseason games, he's got like 5 picks or something like that. Like, he's got to clean that up if he wants to be the long-term answer at QB2. Now, with the new NFL rules, I think the Chiefs will likely carry 3 quarterbacks, but I think Kansas City deep down would like to have Buechele as the backup, at least long-term. But he's got to show them he can be consistent. I thought he played really well after that early pick. So overall, I think the stock is up. We're just looking for that little extra 5-10% of consistency from the third-year young quarterback. You want consistency? Manscaped, the best men's grooming products out there. The lawnmower, the beard hedger, it's all awesome. Let me tell you about the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, because this product, which starts with the beard hedger itself, that's the actual shaver, it has a rotary of 20 different length guards attached to it. You don't have to have the attachments on there and fill up your drawers with all that crap. So you can do a heavy shave, you can do a light shave, just a little trim. And it comes with all the awesome products as well that's going to help you feel good with your beard game moving forward. It comes with the comb, the brush, the shampoo, the conditioner. It is absolutely fantastic, and you guys can get 20% off with our exclusive code for Chiefs fans, Chiefs, CHIEFS. That is the code for 20% off. It's still hot as hell this summer. You got to keep that beard nice and groomed. Go check out Manscaped right now, manscaped.com, promo code Chiefs. They're committed to helping men around the world feel good, look good, have that swagger with their beard game. And like I said, go check out their other products as well. Manscaped.com, promo code Chiefs. Nikko Remigio, as we stay stock up here, he's at least putting some thoughts into the Chiefs coaching staff's heads, I think, right? Like, we've heard about him throughout the offseason, rookie minicamp, OTAs, mandatory minicamp, training camp. It's all been positive. I mean, he makes plays every day, and that carried over into the game. I think that's what we were waiting for, right? Like, okay, is this just a training camp darling, or can he do it in a real game? I mean, 4 for 71, 18 yards per catch. I'd say that's pretty damn good. Now, I understand it's a crowded wide receiver room, and if you're asking me right now, I would still say he's on the outside looking in, but let's give this kid some credit for coming in as a UDFA on the defending Super Bowl champions team and turning some heads. I mean, there's no doubt. He is making it difficult on Andy Reid and this coaching staff to cut him. I could see another team claiming him, if I'm being completely honest. If he does get cut, I could see another team poaching him. Now, I know every year we freak out, oh, if they cut this guy, another team's going to pick him up, and rarely that happens. You can usually get the guy to the practice squad, but he's been that impressive. I actually think there could be a scenario where another team does poach him. So there's something there with this kid. I'm not sure what, but he's always open. He's got strong hands. He can help you out in the return game. It's interesting. I mean, in a perfect world, you cut him and he's on the practice squad, but the risk there is that someone poaches him. Should Nikko Remigio make the 53-man roster? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Again, like, I would say no right now, but he's creeping to that roster bubble. I mean, you know, he's in the top 60. I'll put it like that. Like, he's knocking on the door. There's no doubt. And with that being said, I'm going stock down on Justin Watson. Now, I think if the Chiefs had to decide today, Watson would make this team, but a lot of receivers stood out in the preseason opener against the Saints. Justyn Watson did not. Nikko Remigio, Richie James, Rashee Rice, Justyn Ross all made plays. Now, Justyn Watson didn't play much, which is probably a good sign for him. That means he's probably pretty safe. But would Andy Reid do it? Like, if these next 2 preseason games come and go and Watson doesn't do much and Remigio and these other guys who are on the bubble do make some plays, would he consider cutting Justyn Watson? I think some of these other guys have higher ceilings. Now, Andy Reid, you know, one stigma with him is he tends to have a few, like, Andy Reid guys, right? Like Watson's kind of an Andy Reid guy. He just trusts him. Like he likes the value on special teams. Mahomes liked him last year. So look, if Mahomes wants Justin Watson to be on the team, he's going to be on the team. I get all of that. But if Remigio keeps showing out, if Justyn Ross keeps making plays, like you can't cut Justyn Ross. Like you just can't. So it's going to be interesting. I could see the Chiefs carrying 7 receivers, which is a pretty high number. Healthy competition going on. There's no doubt about it. Subscribe to the channel because more subscribers equals more videos from us here at the Chiefs Report, and I think you guys can expect more videos as we go on. So be sure to subscribe, spread the word, and let's continue to grow this channel. All right, more stock up real quick. Ekow Boye-Doe, the UDFA out of Kansas State. He looked good, man. He's had a good camp, made a couple of plays in the Saints game. Kahlef Hailassie had an interception as well, so a couple of UDFAs there showing out. I think they're prime practice squad candidates. Danny Shelton, he was one of the few defensive linemen that I thought popped, had a sack. I think he's in line to make this team. Cornell Powell, this is year 3 for him. He spent the first 2 years in the practice squad. I don't think he makes the team because it's a crowded wide receiver room, but I thought he had as good of a game as we've ever seen him have in 3 years. 3 catches, 42 yards, all in the second half. So, again, another receiver there in the mix. Richie James, I think he's trending toward being pretty damn safe to make the 53. Had a couple of catches, a touchdown, punt return. So, he did a lot of good things in that game. Stock down. Obviously, Trent McDuffie's not going anywhere. First-round pick who played well last year. He's going to be a starter, but didn't play well against the Saints. A.T. Perry beat him. He got beat on another catch from, it might have been Chris Olave. I'm not sure. No, Michael Thomas beat him on an over route. So I get, Thomas, good player. He's been hurt in recent years, but, kind of got cooked by rookie A.T. Perry. I didn't love that. Reese Taylor, who's been banged up in camp. It's a crowded corner room. I don't think he's in line to make this team at all. Matt Bushman, look, I think the door is open still to push for a roster spot, but he did not show it in that first game. Chris Olave, it was entertaining early, but the interception late is just brutal. Now, in a real game with a minute left and the Saints out of timeouts, the Chiefs, even with Mahomes, probably run that, take 40 seconds off and punt with under 20 seconds left. But they gave you a chance to throw a tight end screen and you throw a pick. I mean, that's pretty damn brutal. And then Keandre Coburn, just didn't see him flash. I hope to see more from him in the next 2 preseason games, but did not see much from him against New Orleans. Which player helped himself the most against the Saints? Like, which player who was like, he really needs a good performance? I would say probably either Justyn Ross or Nikko Remigio. Again, I think Remigio's on the outside looking in still, but he helped himself enter that conversation. I think Justyn Ross certainly helped himself to help solidify where I think he is going to make this roster. But let me know. Drop a name down in the comments. All right, like we said off the top, like this video if you love the Kansas City Chiefs. If you want Justyn Ross to make this team, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time here at the Chiefs Report. All right. What do you guys think? Which player has helped himself most against the Chiefs? Someone said not the 49ers. I don't know if people are talking in the chat. Rashee Rice, yeah, he played well. Ross or James from Cole, they both helped themselves for sure. Thought a lot of receivers helped themselves. Daniel says, I'm not trolling. I'm a Chiefs fan. I just don't feel like there's something special about this team right now. Too many unanswered questions at receiver without a veteran or a true number one. Yeah, I mean, that's been my biggest gripe is they don't have a true number one, but I do think they have good depth. So we'll see if kind of a committee approach works or not. Kind of worked last year, although Juju, even though he wasn't a true number one, he was at least more of a steady presence than what the Chiefs have. So, yeah, I think there's some good points. All right, before we get out of here, if there's people that have just joined us, just want to remind you guys one more time that I am stepping away from the Chiefs Report. Now, I'll be on some more videos throughout this week, so be on the lookout for that. For those wondering why, I can't tell you everything right now, but the main explanation is I have an opportunity to advance my career here at Chat Sports. I get to kind of jump in on the managerial side, do some behind the scenes things in that regard, which I'm excited about. And I'm still going to be on air. I know you guys know that I cover the Bears. That's still going to continue, and I very well might help on some other channels as well. But the Chiefs report deserves 100% attention. And I've provided that, but for me to step into this managerial role, we determined that it would not have been possible to do that and also still provide the same amount and not just volume of content, but quality of content that we've tried to provide the last 3+ years. And this journey's been awesome, man. We've gone from 0 to over 43,000 subscribers. Your support has been awesome. And look, at the end of the day, you guys can do what you want, but I would encourage you guys to stick around. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you are subscribed and you're like, oh no, Harrison's leaving, like, I get that and I appreciate the sentiment, but the new host is going to be awesome. He's going to bring a fresh energy. We can't tell you just yet who that's going to be. That announcement will come later this week, but stay tuned for that. I will let you know when my last show is coming here on the channel, so stay tuned for that as well. And I'm still around at HGram NFL. I'm still here with Chat Sports, so you guys can still reach out. That's not changing. The bond between me and you guys, I don't want that to go away just because I'm stepping away from this channel. So I do appreciate all the love and support. My socials flashing down below at HGram NFL. You guys are the best. We're going to sign off here on today's show. Appreciate Rolly for producing. Shout out to everybody hanging out in the chat. More to come on the future of this channel. It's going to be exciting. Stay tuned.